Marcus's proposal was rejected, and in a fit of rage, he furiously threw the diamond ring away. I, passing by, picked it up, intending to return it to him. But he asked me, "Will you marry me?" I was stunned. When the person I had loved my entire youth asked that, no one could refuse. So we got married. I wore the diamond ring Chloe didn't want and married the man she abandoned. We settled into a quiet, respectful marriage, and I was content. As long as it was with Marcus, I found happiness even in the most mundane days. Until I went to the hospital alone for an appointment, only to see Marcus there, accompanying Chloe for her prenatal checkup. The man who was supposed to be working late personally hung up on my phone call, telling his first love, "Compared to what we have, nothing else matters." A string in my heart snapped silently. After all these years, I finally faced reality, unwilling to continue this self-deceiving charade. So I tucked the divorce papers into some documents, had him sign them, and chose to leave for good. Before we continue, please subscribe to this channel and tell us in the comments where you're listening from. Next time, it's better to have someone accompany you. The doctor advised me while writing a medical order. I smiled wryly and nodded. It wasn't that I hadn't asked Marcus to come with me for my follow-up appointments. He just said he couldn't because he had to work late on weekends. I knew that working late was an excuse, and his true reason was that he didn't want to come. He always believed that depression is just an excuse for people with too much free time to overthink and complain. Ever since I got sick, he found me troublesome and even moved to the home office. "Go get your medication, and remember to come back for your checkup on time." The doctor handed me the medical order. Clutching the medical order, I wandered through the hospital, vaguely searching for the pharmacy pickup. When I finally came to my senses, I realized I had accidentally walked into the maternity ward. Just as I was about to lament my terrible sense of direction, a familiar voice reached my ears. "I'm just glad you're okay." I looked up. The man who claimed he was working late was now carefully supporting his first girlfriend. "The baby is only a month old, it hasn't even fully formed yet." "It's so worrying," Chloe said with a delicate laugh. Marcus patted his chest and assured her, "Don't worry. With me here, you and the baby will be fine." My heart felt as if it had been suddenly squeezed, leaving me breathless. Retreating to a corner, I dialed Marcus's phone. He picked up his phone nearby, glanced at it, and hung up without hesitation. "Aren't you going to answer? What if it's important?" Chloe asked. Marcus shook his head, smiling as he told her, "It's nothing. Compared to what we have, nothing else matters." My body stiffened, and I watched them walk away, unable to snap out of it for a long time. When I finally came to, I realized tears were streaming down my face. I awkwardly wiped my tears, but they only flowed more, refusing to stop. When I returned home, Marcus was already sitting on the sofa in the living room. "Where were you?" he asked, frowning at me. "When I asked you to accompany me to the dinner party, you said you were sick and didn't want to see strangers. Now you can go out and have fun?" I suppressed the bitterness in my heart and replied calmly, "I went to the hospital for a follow-up. I told you about it." He showed no guilt for his earlier rude remark. Instead, he started lecturing me. "Do you really have to go to the hospital every month? You always bring back such a huge pile of medication, it's frightening just to look at it. Your illness is just fear-induced. Go out more, get some sunshine, exercise more, and take less medication. I heard those pills aren't good for your body. If I could, I wouldn't want to take medication either." I closed my eyes, too tired to argue with him. Under his gaze, I silently went to the bar, poured a glass of water, and swallowed the pills with effort. This was my usual form of protest, gentle and powerless. In front of him, I always seemed so weak, so submissive. Before I knew it, our wedding anniversary arrived. I took the day off and started bustling around early in the morning. Marcus walked out of the home office with a frown, complaining, "Why are you making so much noise first thing in the morning? I really don't know what you think about all day. Do you have to turn the house upside down to be satisfied?" I looked into his eyes. "Do you know what day it is today?" He looked puzzled, his tone impatient. "What?" It was the reaction I expected, but a pang of bitterness still rose in my heart. "Our wedding anniversary," I said, trying to calm myself down and patiently explaining to him. "Oh," he nodded. After a moment's thought, he made a reassuring promise, "I'll be back for dinner tonight." The gloom in my heart instantly vanished, and I smiled happily as I saw him off. "Okay, I'll wait for you to come home." I spent the entire day busy in the kitchen alone, even learning to make a somewhat unrefined cake for the occasion. The waiting time always felt long. It wasn't until it was completely dark that I received a message from him, "I won't be back tonight." For me, He always seemed to need only to issue the simplest commands, without an apology or an explanation. I sat blankly at the marble countertop for a long time, then frantically stuffed food into my mouth. It was very salty. I couldn't tell if it was tears or the food. I thought I wouldn't see him that night, but unexpectedly, he returned at midnight, bringing someone with him, Chloe. I stared blankly at the woman, whose face was radiant with a smile. After many years, she was still captivating. A red dress made her even more striking and beautiful. I gripped the hem of my pajamas. "I'm sorry for bothering you so late," she said to me with a smile. Before I could speak, Marcus interjected, "Why say that? Just make yourself at home. Audrey, go make her some hot soup. She just got rained on, she might catch a cold." I gritted my teeth, contradicting him for the first time. "It's so late, can't you just order takeout?" He let out an impatient tisk. "Takeout is never as good as yours. Aren't you the best at making this? Why are you hiding now? You're always like this, so unpresentable. You always embarrass me at crucial moments." I retorted, "Haven't you found someone who can make you proud to bring back?" "No, it's not what you think," Chloe quickly explained. "You really misunderstood. Marcus cut her off, giving me a disgusted look. "That's enough, Chloe. You don't need to explain anything to her. Don't let her ruin your night. I don't know what's gotten into her today." After saying that, he didn't look at me again, pulling Chloe upstairs to the guest room. My lips pressed into a thin line, my breathing rapid, unable to utter another word. A few minutes later, a sneeze came from upstairs. Marcus rushed downstairs in a rage, carrying a kitten. "How many times have I told you not to bother stray kittens on the street? And now you've gone and brought it straight into the house." It was a newborn stray kitten I had found on the street 2 days earlier. Marcus didn't like cats, so I had hidden it in the guest room upstairs. I hadn't expected him to suddenly bring Chloe home today, much less have her stay in the guest room. "Marcus, I told you I'm fine. Don't make it hard on her." Chloe followed him out. "What do you mean fine? Have you forgotten about the time you had an allergic reaction to cat dander and ended up in the hospital? I will never allow that to happen again." No wonder Marcus disliked cats so much and always opposed me feeding strays. It was because of Chloe. I smiled bitterly and took the kitten. "I'll send it away tomorrow." Marcus told me, "You sleep in the guest room tonight." "Let have the master bedroom." "What?" I exclaimed, shocked. "There are so many guest rooms upstairs, she can sleep in another room. Who knows if your cat has been running around in other rooms? What if Chloe has an allergic reaction?" I clenched my fists, my knuckles white. "Then why don't you just let Chloe sleep in the home office with you? What nonsense are you spouting?" Marcus's brows furrowed tightly. "Anyway, I'm not giving up my room. You figure it out yourself." I gave him a cold look and entered the master bedroom. The next morning, I saw Marcus and Chloe having breakfast in the dining room, chatting and laughing. "Eat more. This is from your favorite spot in Maplewood. I got up early to wait in line for it," Marcus said, putting food on Chloe's plate. Chloe smiled and took a bite. "Thank you, Marcus. You're always so thoughtful." I smiled sarcastically. Marcus was only thoughtful toward her. This breakfast spot was Maplewood's famous breakfast spot, an hour's round trip from our neighborhood, and it always had a long line. The man who had thrown a fit yesterday morning because I woke him up was now willing to get up early to buy breakfast for someone else. My heart grew colder, inch by inch. Seeing me come out, Chloe greeted me. "Sit down and eat, Audrey." Her attitude made her seem more like the lady of the house than I did. Just as I was about to sit down, Marcus spoke. "I didn't buy too much, and Chloe might not have enough. Have the housekeeper make you something else. Anyway, you don't like these things." I remained silent, my gaze fixed on him coldly. I suddenly felt worthless. So worthless, that so many years of my youth had been devoted to such a selfish, cold man. The room fell silent, and the housekeeper quickly chimed in. "Madam, what would you like to eat?" "I'll make it for you." I nodded and replied, "Please make me a cup of coffee. And poach that salmon from yesterday for the kitten." Marcus interjected, "No need. I already sent the cat away." I gasped in shock, then furiously retorted, "Didn't I say I would send it away myself? What's the difference between you sending it and me sending it? It was running around the house. What if Chloe had an allergic reaction? It's just been born. If you just throw it outside in this weather, it will freeze to death." I raised my voice, seething. Marcus snorted. "It seems throwing that cat away was the right thing to do after all. You never used to be so unreasonable, nor would you ever yell in the house." Chloe criticized him. "Enough. How can you talk to Audrey like that?" It was my sudden visit that disrupted her life. Then she turned to me and said with a smile, Audrey, don't mind him. Actually, I suggested sending the kitten to a pet store. It will be fine. I refused to let it go. By what right did you get rid of my cat? Chloe was taken aback by my words and choked up slightly. I know, this is all my fault. I'll move out as soon as possible. Please don't let us damage your relationship as a couple. I asked coldly, if that's the case, then when do you plan to leave? Chloe was stumped by my question and looked to Marcus for help. What kind of hospitality is this? Look at yourself right now. You're acting like a complete shrew. Marcus angrily rebuked me. I widened my eyes in anger. If it were an ordinary guest, I would welcome them, but Marcus, be honest with yourself, is she really just a guest? Why are you always so suspicious? Marcus stood up, glaring at me. She divorced that man, she has nowhere to go, and she's pregnant. If I don't take care of her, what kind of person would I be? Oh, my voice trembled slightly, is that child yours? Do you need to take care of her? Audrey. Marcus yelled my name. Don't be so unreasonable. Is it because you can't have children that you have to be so malicious towards her? She's innocent. I froze, shaking my head and taking a few steps back. I can't have children? Don't you know why I can't have children? And? If you hadn't gone racing when you heard about her marriage, would I have had a miscarriage? Is it that I can't give birth, or is it that you made me unable to give birth? I screamed these sentences with all my might. A huge wave of sadness instantly swallowed me, and tears flowed uncontrollably. My head ached, so much so that I could barely think. I awkwardly crouched down, clutching my head. Marcus and Chloe said a lot, but I couldn't hear them anymore. When the symptoms subsided somewhat, I cleared my head. I finally understood that Marcus wasn't incapable of love, he just couldn't love anyone other than Chloe. If wasn't with him, then anyone else would be insignificant. My efforts had been futile, this marriage was a joke from beginning to end. I had my lawyer expedite the drafting of the divorce papers and simply threw the documents onto his desk. Sign it. He frowned. What do you mean? Can you stop making a scene? Look at how you've been these past 2 days. I said, my expression serious. I'm serious, Marcus. Since is already divorced, this position should be returned to its rightful owner. What nonsense are you talking about? Before could finish, Chloe pushed the door open. Marcus, why is she here? I looked at Marcus, displeased. She doesn't have an income source right now, so I asked her to be my executive assistant at the company, Marcus said, looking calm. I found it absurd. Are you kidding? She studied art, how can she be an executive assistant? Marcus became impatient. Why not? If you can do it, why can't she? You can just train her. Chloe said awkwardly, Audrey, I'm sorry to trouble you again. I originally didn't want to come, but Marcus felt sorry for me being alone. I wasn't swayed and asked coldly, then why did you still come? Chloe froze. Huh? I repeated each word clearly, since you said you didn't want to come, why did you still come? If you know you're a bother, why do you always bother me? I really didn't mean to. Her eyes instantly welled up with tears. Marcus immediately jumped to her defense. Enough. Audrey, you're becoming increasingly harsh. Is such a small matter worth making such a big deal out of? What did Chloe do wrong? Why do you dislike her so much? The consequences of our argument that morning were fresh in my mind. I stopped talking back to him and walked out of the office with a dark expression. As I left, I clearly saw Chloe cast a triumphant glance my way. Not long after, Chloe emerged from the office. I turned my back, hoping to avoid her, but she walked straight towards me. Her red fingernails traced lines on my desk. Marcus said you were always very sensible before. It sounds like my presence has made you uncomfortable. I'm sorry, her smile suddenly turned sinister, but you took something that was mine, and I just don't want you to have it easy. Are you talking about this? I raised my hand, pointing to the diamond ring on my ring finger. Here, it's yours. I quickly slipped off the ring and placed it in her palm. This ring wasn't chosen for my finger size anyway. Now it's back to its rightful owner. She held the diamond ring and scoffed. Humph, I want more than just a ring. Perfect, I know what else you want. I pulled out the divorce papers and quickly signed my name. Put this in the documents and take it to him to sign. He won't look at it if you hand it to him. Chloe was truly stunned this time. You? Go on, I urged. A moment later, Chloe returned with the divorce papers, bearing Marcus's signature. Thank you, I said, genuinely grateful, as I took them. After getting the divorce papers, I quickly wrote a resignation letter and submitted it to HR. The HR manager looked at me hesitantly. Madam, does Mr. Lin know about this? I shook my head. He'll know once you approve it. He was greatly alarmed, waving his hands repeatedly. You should talk to Mr. Lin personally. I cannot approve this. All right. I compromised and pushed open Marcus's office door with the resignation letter, only to walk into a scene from a romantic movie. Chloe was sitting on Marcus's desk, her foot resting on his left knee. Marcus was kneeling on one knee, gently rubbing her ankle. Excuse me, I closed the door awkwardly, waiting silently outside. What do you need? A moment later, Marcus opened the door, feigning composure, but his evasive eyes betrayed him. It was amazing. I felt absolutely nothing inside, my mind solely focused on my resignation letter. Please sign this for me. He took it, glanced at it, then frowned. How long are you going to keep this up? 1 minute you want a divorce, the next you want to resign. Do you think I'll compromise if you do this? I rolled my eyes, then just sign it. Why bother talking? He looked at me in surprise, as if he didn't recognize me. How did you become like this, Audrey? You never used to talk to me like this. Look at you now, you don't even resemble a CEO's wife anymore. Maybe you never really knew me before, I chuckled. Fine, you want me to sign it, right? I'll give you what you want. His face flushed with anger, and he took out his fountain pen, pressing down hard as he signed his name on the paper. Ink pierced the paper, and dark flowers bloomed from the sharp strokes. I looked at the blooming ink flower and smiled with relief. This time, I was truly free. Don't you dare regret this. Even if you beg me later, I won't agree to let you come back. Marcus glared at me threateningly. I nodded, pulling out the divorce papers. I don't regret it. See you tomorrow morning at 9 at the courthouse. He looked at the thin sheets of paper and sneered dismissively. What? You want me to sign this too? Audrey, you're really going to great lengths to provoke me. Do you believe I'll actually sign it? Haven't you already signed it? I flipped the divorce papers to the last page, where his name was prominently displayed. When did I? He stared at Th. E. words, stunned. He recognized his own signature. Chloe, standing nearby, quickly claimed credit. Marcus, I just brought that to you to sign, remember? You. Marcus looked at Chloe in bewilderment, then turned back to me. Are you serious? I nodded. See you tomorrow. He finally panicked, grabbing me by the arm. Why? Is it because of Chloe? I can make her move out, and I can get her a different job. You really don't have to do this. Chloe interjected, displeased. Marcus, shut up. Marcus blurted out, interrupting her sharply. I can pretend this never happened. You've achieved your goal. You don't like her, so I'll send her away, okay? I shook my head. No need. I've already made up my mind. You haven't, he desperately countered. Audrey, have you really thought this through? This is a divorce. Don't be so impulsive, okay? Aren't I the one you can't live without? I closed my eyes, looking at him solemnly. I'm not being impulsive, Marcus. I want to leave. I'm tired. I don't love you anymore. Impossible. His emotions suddenly flared. Don't lie to me. How could you not love me? You need to calm down first. I'll pretend this signature never happened. We'll be fine. Marcus actually tore up the divorce papers in his hand. You're the one who needs to calm down. I sighed deeply, pulling out a new copy. If tearing paper helps you calm down, go ahead and tear as much as you like. It's just a photocopy. I have plenty. The next day, Marcus didn't show up for our appointment. I waited patiently for him for 2 hours, then called him. I'll wait another hour. If you don't come, then we'll have to meet in court. Half an hour later, a black Maybach smoothly pulled to a stop in front of me. Marcus stepped out, his face ashen. As he opened the door, I saw Chloe, all smiles, in the back seat. We walked into the administrative office one after the other, silently completing all the procedures. Audrey, he called out as I was leaving. I turned back, looking at him questioningly. It's still not too late to regret it, he said. I turned my back without hesitation, leaving him behind. I wouldn't regret it, nor did I have time to regret it. After resigning from the company we had built together, many old employees contacted me. Marcus was unsentimental and focused solely on practical work, and it was I who had maintained relationships with the company's staff all these years. Now that I was gone, they all asked if I planned to start fresh, and several with whom I had close ties even directly expressed their desire to work with me again. After the divorce, I immediately and tirelessly began recruiting talent and establishing my new company. Less than a month after opening, my company entered its second spring of success. This was thanks in no small part to Chloe. My company and Marcus's company were both bidding on a project for Mr. Arthur's corporation. That day, we were both invited to Mr. Arthur's dinner party. Mr. Arthur, chairman of the Mr. Arthur's Corporation, was getting on in years and had a strong interest in antiques. This was no secret in our circle. At the dinner party, Chloe attended with Marcus as his executive assistant. Mr. Arthur, I know you have a refined taste and enjoy antique items. Coincidentally, our CEO Marcus recently acquired something quite nice. We don't really appreciate such things, and such treasures should rightfully belong to you. With that, she presented the gift she had prepared to Mr. Arthur. Good, good, let me see. Mr. Arthur chuckled as he accepted it, preparing to open the ornate wooden box in front of everyone. The moment he saw what was inside, the smile on his face instantly froze. Lying in the ornate wooden box was, conspicuously, a decorative clock. Presenting a gaudy, mass-produced decorative clock as a rare antique was the most taboo gift in this circle. Chloe was foolish enough not to even know that. Marcus's face darkened, and he looked at Chloe in alarm. CHL. OE, still oblivious to the gravity of the situation, prattled on. It's said that this is a Qing artifact purchased by a collector at an auction abroad. Ahem, Mr. Arthur's cough interrupted her before she could finish. I don't know much about clocks, and I can't quite make sense of this. Mr. Lin, perhaps you should take it back. Mr. Arthur, we didn't mean to, Marcus hastily tried to explain. But Arthur had no patience to listen further. I seized the opportunity to step forward, presenting the vintage artwork I had prepared. Mr. Arthur, I recently acquired a piece of vintage artwork, but I am dull-witted and truly cannot comprehend its meaning. I wonder if you could offer some guidance? Mr. Arthur was indeed an antique enthusiast, and he was immediately drawn to the item in my hands. He promptly cast aside his earlier unpleasantness and led me to his home office for a thorough study. After he finished explaining, I said, Mr. Arthur, I truly don't understand these things. It would be like hiding a pearl in the dust if it remained with me. Perhaps it would be better to leave it in your home office, among your other treasures? Mr. Arthur was overjoyed and accepted the vintage artwork. As the dinner party was nearing its end, Marcus stopped me. Audrey, let's stop fighting, okay? The company really can't function without you. You know how important this bid is to me. I scoffed at his words. Didn't you say it yourself? If I can do it, why can't Chloe? I know I was wrong. I was just speaking carelessly at the time. Please don't be angry with me. Let's get remarried, he pleaded desperately. I'm doing very well now. I don't want to go back to how things were. I looked at him coldly. Please forgive me. Everything was my fault before. Without you, I can't eat or sleep well, and things at the company aren't going smoothly. Please come back. He actually got down on his knees, clutching my hand. I was startled and quickly pulled my hand away. Marcus. Chloe's shrill voice cut through the air. What are you doing? You're already divorced from her, have you forgotten? I don't need you to remind me. Marcus angrily retorted. Chloe indignantly questioned him, then why are you still getting entangled with her? What does she have that's worth clinging to? This is all your fault. If it weren't for you, we wouldn't have gotten divorced, she wouldn't have left me. Marcus pointed the finger at her. You ruined everything. Chloe's eyes immediately reddened. How can you blame me? She was the one who stole you from me. I'm just taking back my own man. What did I do wrong? I'm not yours. You were the one who abandoned me first. Their argument grew louder and louder, drawing the attention of many guests. Feeling embarrassed, I quickly found an opportunity to slip away. 2 months later, my new company was thriving, while Marcus's company was experiencing financial troubles. This was to be expected. Marcus was never good at management. When I left the company, I took a large number of key employees with me, and then there was Chloe, his capable assistant. It would have been hard for him not to run into problems. It never rains but it pours. Chloe, after repeatedly failing to pressure him to marry her, went to Marcus's parents and revealed that he and I had divorced. Marcus's father had a heart condition and had undergone surgery years ago. Stung by Chloe's revelation, William was rushed into the ICU. Upon hearing the news, I felt a pang of sympathy and went to visit my former father-in-law. Although was indifferent to me, his parents had treated me like their own child, showering me with love and affection. When and I divorced, I had deliberately kept it from them. Who would have thought Chloe would be so selfish as to target even an elderly person? When I arrived at the hospital, William had already been transferred to a regular room and was lying quietly in bed. Seeing me, Chloe immediately became alert. What are you doing here? Marcus also eagerly came forward. You're here. Ignoring them, I walked straight to Eleanor, whose eyes were red and swollen. I came to see Uncle and Aunt. Eleanor became even more upset at my address of Uncle and Aunt, and tears streamed down her cheeks. Audrey, you've been through so much, she grasped my hand. I smiled and shook my head. No, I'm doing very well now. These are some health supplements I asked someone to buy for you both. Please take good care of yourselves. I'll be leaving now. After setting the items down, I turned to leave. In the stairwell, Marcus chased after me, with Chloe close behind. Audrey, don't go. Don't abandon me. Marcus's eyes even welled up with tears. I corrected him. Marcus, you need to understand, I never abandoned you. You were the one who always ignored and hurt me. I know, it's all my fault, but now He urgently stepped forward, wanting to grab me, but Chloe embraced him. Don't try to win her back. She doesn't want you anymore, but I do. Chloe cried. Marcus, however, was focused only on breaking free from her. Let go of me. I won't let go. You're not allowed to go to her. We're going to get married. The two became entangled, neither willing to back down. Suddenly, Chloe slipped and tumbled down the stairs. Ah! It hurts so much. My baby! Chloe screamed, and red liquid spread beneath her. Marcus was stunned. I quickly reacted and immediately called for a doctor. It was a premature birth, but thankfully, the baby was saved. Out of guilt, Marcus registered the child under his name, but he still refused to marry Chloe. Chloe, however, no longer seemed to care about getting married. On the third day after giving birth, she disappeared. Only the crying infant remained in the hospital room. Marcus went frantic, searching the world for her. Not only because she left behind a child, but also because 10 million disappeared from the company's accounts overnight. But no matter how hard Marcus tried, he couldn't find Chloe. His company was already facing financial troubles, and now it was even worse. He had nowhere left to turn and had to declare bankruptcy. That night, he appeared drunk outside my company building. The security guards couldn't get rid of him and, in desperation, had to ask me to talk to him. I sighed helplessly and had no choice but to go out myself. Seeing me, he seemed to sober up a bit. He smiled foolishly and presented a diamond ring, murmuring to me, Audrey, didn't you always complain that the ring was too big? I bought you a new one, try it on. He knew all along. He had always known about my past grievances and embarrassments. I pursed my lips and shook my head. I don't need it anymore. You do. How can you not want it? He became anxious. I specially bought this for you. It's the latest model, size 12, your finger size. I held out my hand, revealing the massive diamond on my ring finger. See? What you didn't give me, someone else already has. Impossible. He looked utterly incredulous. How could there be someone else? How could you fall in love with someone else? You learned to cook for me, you knitted scarves for me, he suddenly choked up. You did so many, countless things for me. Aren't I the one you loved most? How could you like someone else? I don't love you anymore, Marcus, I said, looking firmly into his eyes. He shook his head. No, you're lying to me. I'm telling the truth. My eyes held a victorious smile. Do you know who sold Chloe that decorative clock? I remember you originally wanted her to buy a blue and white porcelain vase, right? Also, she never studied finance or management. How could she plan to embezzle funds and flee all by herself? And who was waiting for her abroad? Marcus was stunned. He was completely sober now, his eyes filled with disbelief. It was you. You did all of this. Why would you do this to me? Audrey, you're too malicious. He lunged at me, but he was forcibly dragged away by people in white coats. Thank you for listening to today's story. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it with your friends. We look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments section. Feel free to share your views, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting stories. See you next time.